Hello everyone, Bennett here, playing a match of Clash of Fate with my friend Jake. My team has Medusa, Morosa, and Dorn, and Jake is playing Ska, Sylvanas, and Jinsoku. We are choosing which character to lead with first. I chose Dorn the King's Shield, and Jake chose Ska the Blazing Alchemist. Dorn is a defensive character. His unique ability increases the resistances of the character that comes in to fight after him. Ska creates a lot of explosions and does damage to multiple characters. We set our basic attacks off to the side and shuffled our character decks. We draw a starting hand of 4 cards, then we add our basic attacks to our hand, and then we draw 2 cards during the draw phase. That's the first phase of every round. Since Dorn has the lower focus, he has to lead first on preparations. So I chose to play a trick, which is a type of preparation that's played face down and revealed later. The trick I played is Vigilance, which has to be revealed before the attack cards are revealed, but after we've played them face down. And I will have to choose to give Dorn +2 magic resistance, +1 damage and speed, or ignore the negative effects of Ska's attacks this round. So I choose to give Dorn's attacks +1 damage and speed this round in order to increase the odds of my attack Disarming Strike's ability to interrupt Ska's attack. So if my speed is higher, Disarming Strike will stop both the damage and the abilities of Ska's attack, Bouncing Flames. I was successful in doing this, so I deal 3 damage to Ska, putting him down to 10, and Bouncing Flames was successfully interrupted. That prevented Dorn from taking 6 magic damage, and the other 2 characters on my team from both taking 3. So that was pretty good. Ska played Innovation. He has to choose between drawing 2 cards and adding 3 damage to his attacks. He chose to add 3 damage to his attacks. I passed on preparations, and Ska played Ring of Fire, which means that if Ska would die from a faster attack, his attacks will still do damage to Dorn. This may have been a little preemptive, considering that Ska is at 10 health, and it's not very likely that Dorn would do 10 damage to him. Ska's attack this round is Inferno, which has 5 speed. It's faster than my attack, so it'll do damage first. Inferno allows you to spend any amount of energy, and it deals that amount +1 magic damage to the enemy character. Every character can spend up to 10 energy each round. So Ska spent 2 energy playing Ring of Fire. So he's able to spend 8 energy on Inferno, having to do 9 damage to me. He also used his unique ability on me, which deals 4 magic damage to a character who has already dealt damage this round. For conclusions, Ska passed because he didn't have any energy left. Dorn played Endurance, regaining 4 health, and Sharpened Steel, which increases the damage of his attacks by 2 for the next 2 rounds. My attack did 4 damage to Ska, putting him down from 10 to 6. So hopefully we'll be able to kill him off this round. I'm going to play my fastest attack in hopes of doing damage first, which will then, if it works out, prevent his attack from doing damage. See, my speed is 4, and the speed of fire breathing is 3. So I will do damage first and kill Ska before he's able to breathe fire on Dorn. Now that I killed Ska, I can play conclusions cards before the beginning of the next round. Jake has to choose a character to bring in to replace Ska. He does not have to do this until after I've played conclusion cards. He's getting his starting hand ready and the cards he's going to draw for the turn. I played Sharpened Steel, second copy. So now my attacks have +4 damage. Jake played Bark Armor, which increases Sylvanas' armor by 2, making him take less damage from physical attacks. You have to do magic damage to Sylvanas in order to destroy Bark Armor, which, because of Dorn's all of his attacks are physical, Dorn will not be able to destroy that armor. We can still do damage through it. My trick Bestowed Favor gives my attack +1 damage and makes it so that it cannot be interrupted. Sylvanas' attack Ensnaring Vines has Bleed, which will cause Dorn to bleed until the end of the next round. Bleeding characters suffer 1 damage whenever they play a card. My attack Zoning Swipe can have its damage lowered if the enemy chooses to lower their damage by 1. Jake, however, chose to take the full amount of damage in order to increase his damage to me and to go down to 8 health. Because once Sylvanas reaches 8 health, he transforms into a werewolf at the end of the round. Once he's a werewolf, his attacks will use the right side of the card. That's the werewolf side. And he will also regenerate 1 health at the beginning of each round. Last round, he played Nightly Hunger, which increases the damage of Sylvanas' attacks. It gets bonus damage if the enemy character is bleeding, which I am, and bonus damage if Sylvanas is a werewolf. I played Defensive Position, which is going to increase my armor by 3 this round. I did this because the werewolf attacks deal physical damage, and I want to increase my odds of surviving for 1 more round. However, Jake's attacks do have +3 damage this round, thanks to Nightly Hunger and Howl. Sylvanas played his basic attack, which the werewolf side has Strike 2 and 5 speed and 4 damage. So +3, it'll have 7 damage. And that was able to defeat Dorn before his attack landed on Sylvanas. So now I am choosing a character to bring in. I brought in Medusa to avenge Dorn. Dorn leaves his armor behind for Medusa, increasing both of her resistances by 1, making her quite a bit more difficult to kill. I brought in Medusa in part because she has poison on a lot of her cards. Her cards that poison the enemy make them take 1 damage at the beginning of each round. And this is helpful against Sylvanas' regeneration effects. Also, Medusa's unique ability when she dies, her head is picked up by the character that replaces her, and her head retains the ability to stun enemies. So 1 time, the enemy may apply the stun mechanic to one of their attacks, which stuns the character for 1 round, meaning that the next round they will not be able to play any attack cards. They can still play preparations and conclusions, but they can't make an attack while they're stunned. So it's quite a powerful effect, and I want to make sure I get that onto my last character, which is Morosa. Now we are going to reveal our attacks. Then we reveal the preparations, beginning with the character with the lowest focus, and then alternating. I do not have to choose to reveal a trick. However, if I don't, it will be discarded at the end of the combat phase. My trick this round was Serpent Trap, which poisons Sylvanas. And if he would dodge my attack, he would suffer 2 damage. Sylvanas played 2 copies of Entangling Roots, which slows my attack down and lowers its damage. So he was able to lower Medusa's attack lightning shot speed by 4, which makes it slower than Sylvanas' attack Slash Throat. So Slash Throat was able to interrupt that attack. Now that Sylvanas is poisoned, he will suffer 1 damage at the beginning of each round, in addition to regaining 1 health. So he will stay at the same health this way, which will help me defeat him. Sylvanas played Howl, increasing his damage and speed by 1 for his attacks this round. I played Agility, which allows Medusa to make an extra attack, provided it's a ranged attack. And then if I have the Magic Quiver, my attacks get +1 damage this round also. So now I play my 2 attacks. Jake will play his. I played Slither and Acid Arrows, my plan being to dodge his attack with Slither, and which avoids all the damage from the attack, and then fire 3 arrows at him using Acid Arrows. The Acid Arrows poison the enemy, and the attack has a mechanic called Strike, which applies its damage a certain number of times, in this case 3. The attacks with Strike benefit a lot from increases to damage because it increases the damage of each strike. So in this case, the bonus 2 damage I got from the Quiver and Agility increased my damage in total by 6 because Acid Arrows has Strike 3. Multiple instances of poison stack, so Sylvanas will take 2 damage at the beginning of each round. Sylvanas' attack, Provoking Swipe, has 8 speed, so it will hit me first. But then my attack, Lightning Shot, will defeat Sylvanas. Now Jake will bring in his last character, Jinsoku, the Hidden Blade, an assassin who is good at finishing off injured opponents with his fast attacks and his ability to dodge enemy attacks. I passed on preparations. Jinsoku has played a trick. Now we are playing our attack cards. Before the attack cards are revealed, Jinsoku has revealed Tripping Wire. He will choose to lower my defenses to 0 for this round, or lower the speed or damage of my attacks by 2. Jake chose to lower my defenses to 0, and his attack Throwing Knives has a speed of 7, which was faster than my attack Petrifying Gaze, which had a speed of 6. And because he ignored my resistances, he did 7 damage to Medusa, killing her, which is quite unfortunate. So now I bring in my last character, Morosa, to avenge Medusa and hopefully take down Jinsoku. Jinsoku does get to play conclusions for the round in which he defeated Medusa prior to Morosa becoming active. Jinsoku has a lower focus than Morosa, so he will have to lead on preparations. So Jinsoku played Backstab, which gets additional damage and ignores armor if it hits first. However, my attack, Ghastly Fog, is one of the fastest in the game. It has a speed of 10, which is 3 faster than Backstab. Ghastly Fog makes it so that I take half damage, rounded up, from attacks with 6 or less speed. However, Backstab speed of 7 prevented that from happening. I get to play Conclusions first because my attack had the highest speed. I played Library of Souls, which makes the Morosa's cards next round cost 1 less energy. Jinsoku played Brutal Laceration, which has caused Morosa to bleed, making him take 1 damage anytime he plays a card till the end of this upcoming round. I played Time Stop, which allows me to play 2 attacks this turn. I'm going to try and force Jinsoku to use his unique ability, which makes him avoid the damage from 1 attack. Jinsoku played a preparation, a trick, and now I'll be playing 2 attacks. His trick is Deceive, which allows him to lower the damage of one of his attacks by 3 in order to give that attack dodge. Dodge allowing him to avoid all damage from slower enemy attacks. Now, since both my attacks, Torment and Necrotic Sludge, are slower than Concealed Dagger, that's Jinsoku's basic attack, he will be able to dodge the damage from both of my attacks. I will still lower his magic resistance by 1 and make it so that he cannot play Conclusions this round. However, I was not able to deal any damage to him, which was quite unfortunate. Now we're going to the next round. I'm no longer bleeding, which is nice, but I am quite low. Morosa only has 3 health left. Jinsoku played Tripping Wire again. And he chose to lower my resistances, which allowed his attack to kill Morosa. Morosa comes back to life at 1 health after the first time he would die. And then any attacks or abilities he had in effect stay in effect, despite the fact that he died. I played Regeneration, which restores 2 health to Morosa and allows me to draw another card for him. And I played Drain Vitality, which gives Jinsoku 2 less energy next round and Morosa 2 more, which can help Morosa play additional attacks. I have also forgotten to use Medusa's Head to stun Jinsoku, which would have been very helpful. That mistake will probably cost me the game. I played Hymn of the Fallen, which fears Jinsoku for this round and the next round. A feared character has -2 to their attack's damage and -1 speed. So my attack, Ghastly Fog, will do damage first. However, it'll bring Jinsoku down from 4 only to 1. Jake chose to use his unique ability in order to avoid the damage from Ghastly Fog. And Morosa will die to the 9 damage from his attack Heartseeker. From Jinsoku's attack Heartseeker. Even though it's only doing 7 damage because he's feared, it's still enough to kill Morosa. So that's the match. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. I look forward to posting more content, and please let me know what you think of the video and if you have any suggestions for things that you would like to see.